Audio God. Audio GD. Audio G-D. Is a Chinese company. Like Hifi is a Chinese company. Not like a company that exists somewhere else and then manufactures in China. They are Chinese. Their website is Chinese. If you buy one of these, you are sending emails to China. And then China is making a box and China is sending you a box. Because China's got audio files, man. China just has audio files. Just like America's got audio files, and France, and I guess Canada, maybe. Mexican audio files, I don't know. If you're a Mexican audiophile, leave a comment. It's cheap. For what you get, it's remarkably cheap. This is what the comparison is going to be against, probably. Put the yote right there. Excuse me. I gotta unplug things now. Alright, I'm gonna stop this. Crash that. So I don't have to go climbing under the table. This is gonna be terrifying. Everything's gonna fall. Some people, some fans of this would think that's the only use for the Jotunheim. Compared to this, just use it to hold why it's a paperweight. Yes, no, and yes, no. So, it's a DAC amp preamp. That's what this is. And when I say cheap, in relative terms, $325. Plus shipping? I think there's shipping added on. You see, someone else bought this, they had it sent to me directly, and now before Christmas is done, they're going to get it sent back. So handmade in China. That, you know, isn't every Chinese child just in an Apple factory building iPhones? Yeah. That's a scratch there that I didn't do. I think I mentioned that to him. Chinese audiophiles. We'll go back to that for a second. There's a culture there of audiophile lunatics. But they're all inside each other. And they may want to go out and buy Mercedes, but they all want to build their own speakers and their old Chinese amplifiers and Chinese tubes. And they want to live with that. And that's where this comes from. If you go to their site, we'll navigate the site first. Audio GD. Everyone calls them Audio God because they're so good. And they basically build things out of really high-end components. And I'll get to the insides of this. So you enter the site, pick English, I hope. Unless you don't. Speak Mandarin if you want. You get all. This is their product list here. So they sell big power amps. They sell headphone amps and pre's. They sell DACs. They sell more DACs. They sell more DACs. And they said DAC and headphone amps. And there's the NFB11, which is what this is, by the way. There's an NFB29H. There's an NFB28. Up and up and up, and custom products. And so they have a list. It's a terrible website, by the way. And we move on. If we go into that product, here's the product page for the NFB11. It's been updated. A discrete DAC. Basically, the interior of this is jam-packed. I would open this one up, but it's like 9 screws. It's like 8 screws, and I can't be bothered. Here's a picture of it. Look how many things there are. Everywhere. A lot of Japanese components. They say, hey, we use Japanese components because they're not stupid. They know the Japanese components are the best components, so of course they're using them. And it's a 32-bit, 384 kilobyte hertz Saber DAC with a asynchronous transfer USB 32 chip, and it supports DSD and DXD and fuck forever. Just what do you want? What do you want to know? It's got a non-feedback ACSS analog output stage. Of course it does. Why wouldn't it? So on and so forth. Link to this specific page in there. Before I get off the website, though, if you do decide to order one of these, it's a strange process. Because you come here to the site where this is where it is, and you're like, I want to buy it now. And you don't. You got to go and you got to contact them. You have to email them. And then you tell them what you want, because there's different options on the thing. You can get the There's a DAC chip upgrade. It's like $20 that this one has. Or you could, what are the other custom options? Come on. Or you could have, replace the RCA coaxial input with a BNC socket, things like that. And once you know what you want, you email them, say, I want this. They'll email you back probably a code. And then you literally go to PayPal. And PayPal, there's their PayPal email. And you say, here's what I ordered. Here's my number. Here's my PayPal email. And you send them money. And then you hope to God you get product in the mail. Which you will, because they're well known. They're super well known. But that is a weird, there is no like, buy now with PayPal. That doesn't exist here. Even though they have PayPal, it's because of the ordering system. I don't know. You could also send money directly to them via a bank. Don't do that one. I don't trust that one. Let's look at the unit. It's not very, it's heavy, but only in the way that I know it's filled with components. Just chock full of them. Transformers right there. You can feel that. The aluminum case is plastic sounding. It is metal though. Collects fingerprints a bit. I've been cleaning it and then not cleaning it, cleaning it, not cleaning it. There's a hole. It's got little feet. It's got the vents here and vents here on the other side. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, there's holes. You can see there's, I don't know if you can see, there's holes there. Because these are the bits that get hot from the output stage. Nothing on the sides. Back is DAC out, which this is selectable pre or line out, which is super fucking unique and super fucking amazing. And I'll get to that in a bit. Got an optical in, you got a coaxial in, and a USB in. Then there's this switch, which changes the mode that the USB uses in Windows. And if you find that the device is clicking off and on between songs, I got to get to the driver install. This video is going to be 35 fucking minutes long when I go over the little things about. So yeah, basically this switch controls the way that a USB works. If it's mode 1 or 2, I don't think. Alright, and power and there's a power switch. Fine. So it's simple. That switch needs a little bit of explanation because it was doing it on. This is my Windows 10 laptop, by the way. Up there, the one that I've always used for reviews is my Windows 7 laptop. I don't want to remove that. I don't want to upgrade that, and I don't want to have. So I Windows 10 laptop for this because most of you are going to be at least on 10. 7, I didn't install those drivers. 10, I installed the drivers. Let me take you through the tail. I'll tell you the tail before I get to the front of it. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. That's what the fuck. IRC. You got to talk to goddamn fucking Diablo. If you go to my IRC channel, link in the description, there's a guy there named Diablo. He will never stop fucking talking. He's the kind of guy that writes like 5, 4, 3 lines, and there's 30 in a row. No one's responding to him. He just keeps talking. But he's like, oh man, if he could have his dick surgically removed and replaced with an audio god NFB11, he'd do it. And he'd just walk around with it hanging out all the time. And he's like, no. Well, you got to download the driver suite. Okay. And then you got to go in and you got to open Windows where it says the driver's already installed. No. You got to go in there. No, you got to say not that. You got to go navigate and you got to find the Vista 64 driver for Windows 10. If it doesn't work, you got to install the fucking Vista 64 driver for Windows 10. It's like, all right, and it worked. And it finally fucking worked. Because I would have figured that out on my own, sure enough. And then it worked. And then it worked fine. And then all of a sudden, it was sort of, like, I turn it on, I'm like, there's no sound. And I had to power cycle it. And then there was sound. Or I had to restart the computer. So it's got a couple issues. You have to install the driver. Yes, if you want 32-bit 384, you need a driver. And on Windows 10, it definitely needs a driver or it just freaks out. And then Windows 7, I haven't even looked. So there will be help in the comments or on my subreddit or on our headphones. Somewhere will be help. It's working now. Or it was until I unplugged it. We'll find out when I plug it back in if it keeps working. So that's the trip for installing the drivers. It was like, oh, obviously it's Windows 10. You need the Vista 64 driver for that. Okay, good. And there's multiple driver packs. I really should have cleaned this before I picked it up, but oh well. You get your 1/4-inch headphone out. You get a blue fucking LED. You get this switch, which is the greatest switch on any device, because you get to pick if you're listening to the headphones or if you're listening to the RCA outs in the back as a variable preamp where this controls the volume, or if you're listening to the RCAs in the back as a fixed line out from the DAC. Now the only problem I have with the Switch is that with these, my Air Motive 6s up here, go to headphone, and I should probably plug it back at, well, hold on. Gain, obviously, high-low gain, and here's your input, USB coaxial optical. Very nice, smooth knob. All right, back to the thing. I'm gonna hook it back up. See how this works. Ugh. By the way, the Jotunheim is very heavy compared to this. But now, actually, once I plug it in, I'll do some comparisons to the Yote, because it needs to be noted that one of the main differences. What the fuck are you doing? I'll kill you. Okay. Power. That's my hand doing that. Never do this. Never do this. Stop. No, no, I don't want to switch the NX. What was I talking about? Shit. Train of thought. Destroyed. Oh. Sorry. So I'm playing, let's see, I'm on headphones. Let's plug back in the Ether Flows, which I may buy. Just saying. Plugging the Ether Flows. I'm on headphone. I'm on high gain. I'm about halfway volume on this because it's got a the whole point of this is a headphone amp. It's a fucking excellent headphone amp. It's a fucking amazing headphone amp. Alright? It's at least as good or better than the Jotunheim's 1/4-inch output. don't all that very expensive fight happening right here. I can feel that the shit is angry at it. The only thing that the Jotunheim has got going for it is that balanced. Well, it's a DAC because I asked for the DAC. So this is 500 and this is 325. So it has a USB DAC. So it doesn't have the other digital inputs, coaxial or SPDIF. Coaxial or fiber, my bad. So it's a little different there. This has balanced inputs and outputs, which this doesn't support. But this also has inputs of RCA and output. So it's not really the same thing here. But if you're just buying one of, you know what, it's heavier on this side, that's why it's falling down. If you're just buying one of these units for 1/4-inch headphone out, this one's probably better for the 1/4-inch, just as a straight DAC amp. The DAC in this is very good, but if you're not taking full advantage of the balanced nature of it and the 4-pin, then you could save some money, and this exists. And don't go ask Diablo about it because he'll tell you exactly how bad. Oh, this sucks. It's garbage. Fucking throw it away. But it's not. And this is cheaper and has more features you'd probably use. Most of you aren't running balanced XLR inputs. You could run outputs for sure if you got powered monitors. Or if I take this off, I could hook this up with XLRs. And, you know, that's really, there's no audio benefit to that, except for long distances, etc., etc. Back to the Switch. God damn it, it's been like 5 minutes. So I'm playing headphones, right? Let's, give me something good. Dick Tracy OST. Boom. So I'm listening to headphones. And I want to listen to the speakers. So I flipped the switch. And I flipped back. And I went, oh God, thank God that was the quietest song on earth. Because I'm in a high gain at half volume. If I was in a louder song... Oh God. Louder song. So you have to remember to low gain, lower the volume, flip the switch, and then raise the volume. That is She Drones. The band She, the song Drones. Okay, so now I want to go back to headphones. I can switch to headphones, back to high, and back to half. Obviously, if you need high and low gain on this, is another impedance thing. It's not just is louder. It can change the way the headphones sound. I've tried a couple of these headphones, measly headphones on there, and it does make a difference. You'll play with it. You'll figure out which one you like. I like this on high gain, and you can crank the shit out of these Ether Flows. And so one of the things I like about the Switch, okay, you can go from that to that. But then the other problem is, if you're doing it exactly like I've got it, if I flip that switch further down and go to fixed, What essentially that does is these are no longer controlled by the volume knob. These get full fuck kill signal. So let's find a real quiet song again. A real quiet one. Enter. Go. Ooh, the halts. The planets. Mars. Alright, these are real quiet. So let's see. Am I on? That's too loud even still. I wanna do this test live. Way too loud. Guns N' Roses. I also don't want to get this pulled off of the interwebs. Oh, I could just sort by replay track games. Here we go. Which one needs the biggest boost? That'll be the one that is the quietest. You bitch. Okay. No boost. Actually, these are pretty good. John Coltrane. How loud? I'll turn the knob. That's pretty loud. All right, let's flip to fixed. So now there's no volume control. It's just... There's also that pop. Did you notice that pop? There's a pop between fixed and variable. So it takes it to about halfway up. It takes it to a line out. But that could be very, very bad if it's a loud song. It's not a loud song. It's a quiet song. That's why it's fine. There's a pop between fixed and variable, which you shouldn't be going to. If you wanted to use a speaker amp, if you don't want to use powered monitors, and you just had a, you know, vintage amp or a tube amp or something that, you know, an SA50 or an A6, what the hell is it? A2. Then you would plug into this an amp with a speaker, with a volume knob. And then you could just go, okay, I'm done with my headphones, lower it, click, click, and then have another volume knob. That pop is right in my eyes, and I don't like it. Sure, John Coltrane's ruining this whole video. It's going to be flagged and marked blue LED. It's going to be flagged and marked blue LED. There is some... It's handmade in China, and it comes all the way across in a boat, or probably a plane. And there are some scuffs on this that would be like, what happened to this? Is this used? No, it's brand new, but it's got scuffs because it's made in China. It's not finely, even this is not, you know, finely crafted. They just managed to not scratch it up. And then black will show a lot more. So, the headphone stage in this is fuck all amazing. I can't deny it. I can't deny it. Everything there. The own probably falls to it. The stack there probably falls to it. For $325, you cannot beat the output of this output stage. You do got to go through all that shit. You got to deal with drivers and compatibility issues. At least you can hook up powered monitors if you wanted to. I would highly, highly recommend if you're going to use the variable output, you always leave it on low and just switch to high-low between headphones. USB coaxial optical. If you need that. If you need that functionality. Most people are, if you're getting this, are just getting it for USB. Done. What else is there to say about this thing? I feel nauseous. I feel nauseous from how loud it is. I'd like to try one of the bigger ones. If it had a balanced output, if it had a 4-pin here, which it could just, but they have other units, I'd probably buy one. I mean, they're more expensive ones with it than I mean, I don't care what. Do I care what country something's made? This is made in America. Well, most of it's made. It's assembled here, certainly. I'm sure some of the parts are made here. But they're all still just, you know, capacitors and stuff that are not coming from Delaware. There's no company in Delaware that makes capacitors. Unless you link it in the description, I'd love to know. So, yes. Do I like the NFB11? Yes. Is it worth the trouble to get it? Probably. It's a little straight. You can't cover it because heat. And it does emit heat. As much heat as this? Probably not. This thing is a goddamn oven. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I might spend the next like 40 minutes just John Coltrane on either flow C's through this. because after this is going back, and I'm gonna miss it. And then I'm gonna switch to this, and then I'm not gonna miss it as much.